Have you ever wondered what it's like to live under a set of rules so strict that they govern every detail of your life? In the heart of rural America, where time seems to stand still, the Amish community lives by a code that few truly understand. Miriam Lambry grew up in one of the most conservative Amish families, surrounded by 12 siblings, until she realized that this life wasn't for her. But what exactly are these rules, and how do they shape the lives of Amish women? Today, we're uncovering the 20 most shocking rules that govern their existence, rules that might make you question the true nature of faith versus control. Buckle up as we dive into the hidden world of the Amish and reveal the secrets behind their seemingly idyllic way of life. Number 1. The threat of banning. In the insular world of the Amish community, one practice stands out for its severity and impact: banning. Known as ma dung in Pennsylvania Dutch, this practice involves the deliberate and systematic exclusion of an individual from both social and religious life. But what could prompt such a drastic measure? Banning typically arises when a community member fails to adhere to the Ordnung, the unwritten code of conduct that governs every aspect of Amish life. Violations can range from skipping church services and breaking community rules to marrying outside the faith. When someone is banned, they are excommunicated and severed from their entire social network, leaving them isolated. The repercussions of being banned are profound. Within the Amish community, even family members, parents, siblings, and others are forbidden from having any contact with the banned individual. The commitment to shunning is so rigorous that the Amish community may refuse to even share a table with someone who has been banned. This strict adherence to banning underscores the deep value placed on conformity and communal harmony within the Amish way of life. Number 2. Women don't receive higher education. In Amish communities, education is important, but it follows a distinct path compared to mainstream society. Amish children attend one-room schoolhouses where they learn fundamental subjects like reading, writing, and arithmetic. However, their formal education typically ends after the 8th grade. Here's where a significant gender divide comes into play. While Amish boys may continue their education through vocational training or other practical skills to prepare for life within their community, Amish girls face a different educational trajectory. After completing their schooling at the end of 8th grade, girls generally focus on acquiring domestic skills and learning homemaking duties. Their education centers around preparing them for traditional roles as keepers of the home and caregivers. This educational separation reflects the Amish commitment to preserving their traditional way of life. In Amish culture, the emphasis is placed on community values and roles, rather than individual academic aspirations. While modern society often advocates for higher education for all, the Amish community's approach underscores their dedication to maintaining a simple, cohesive lifestyle, where gender roles are clearly defined and adhered to. Number 3. Birth control is forbidden. In the Amish community, the use of birth control is strictly prohibited, rooted deeply in their religious beliefs and interpretations. This stance is derived from their literal reading of biblical teachings, particularly the commandment found in Genesis to be fruitful and multiply. For the Amish, this directive is more than just a spiritual guideline. It's a fundamental tenet of their faith and way of life. According to Amish beliefs, the act of limiting the number of children through contraception is seen as defying divine will. This perspective is not just about religious obedience, but also reflects the Amish commitment to living in harmony with what they perceive as God's plan for humanity. As a result, Amish couples embrace the possibility of having large families, viewing each child as a precious gift rather than a potential burden. In practice, this means that Amish families often have 5, 10, or even more children. The size of these families underscores the community's values surrounding family life and procreation. Raising such large families is seen as a sacred duty, with parents expected to provide for and nurture their many offspring in a manner consistent with their faith and traditions. The responsibility of upbringing involves not only meeting the physical needs of the children, but also imparting the community's values and beliefs, ensuring that the next generation continues the practices and lifestyle of their forebears. This approach to family life highlights a broader aspect of Amish culture, a deep-seated commitment to tradition and a belief in the importance of maintaining a close-knit, supportive community. By eschewing modern birth control methods, the Amish uphold their principles of faith and community cohesion, even as they navigate the challenges of raising large families in a rapidly changing world. Number 4. Women must be very submissive to their husbands. In the Amish community, the dynamics of marriage are deeply influenced by traditional beliefs about gender roles and authority. Central to Amish family life is a clear and deliberate division of labor and power, with men typically assuming the role of the head of the household. This structure is deeply rooted in their interpretation of biblical teachings, which emphasize the concept of male leadership and the submission of wives. The Amish community adheres closely to passages from the Bible that advocate for a hierarchical family structure, where the husband is seen as the primary decision-maker and leader. For Amish women, this means that their roles and responsibilities are framed within a context of obedience and deference to their husbands. The expectation is that women will be submissive, reflecting a profound commitment to the teachings that prescribe a male-led household. In practical terms, this submission manifests in various ways. Amish women are generally expected to seek their husband's approval before making significant decisions, whether they pertain to family matters or personal choices. Their primary responsibilities revolve around homemaking, child-rearing, and supporting their husbands in their roles as family leaders. This includes managing the household, preparing meals, and ensuring the well-being of their children, all while upholding the values and traditions of their community. Amish women commonly refer to their husbands as the head of the household, a title that underscores the respect and acknowledgement of his authority. This cultural practice might seem restrictive by contemporary standards, where gender equality and shared decision-making are more prevalent. However, within the Amish context, these roles are seen as integral to maintaining a cohesive and orderly way of life. The expectation of submission is not merely a personal choice, but a reflection of the community's broader values and deep religious convictions. Understanding this aspect of Amish life requires a nuanced appreciation of how tradition and faith shape their societal structures. While the roles and expectations may appear restrictive to those outside the community, they are part of a larger framework that the Amish believe supports their way of life and preserves their cultural and religious heritage. Number 5. Mandatory attendance of community events. One of the most defining and intriguing aspects of Amish life is their unwavering commitment to mandatory community events. In Amish communities, participation is not merely encouraged, it is an expectation deeply ingrained in their way of life. From barn raisings and quilting bees to Sunday church services, attending these events is a fundamental part of being an active and respected member of the community. For the Amish, missing an event is far more than a minor oversight. It is perceived as a serious lapse in communal responsibility. These gatherings, known as Gemütlichkeit, a term reflecting warmth and friendliness, or simply community events, are essential to maintaining the social fabric of Amish life. They serve a multitude of purposes, providing a platform for social interaction, reinforcing community bonds, and fostering a sense of unity among members. At these events, Amish individuals and families come together to share stories, lend a helping hand, and build connections that are integral to their close-knit society. For example, a barn raising, which is both a practical and social occasion, allows the entire community to come together to help construct a new barn, while also strengthening social ties. Similarly, a quilting bee offers a chance for women to socialize and collaborate on quilts, which are both practical and symbolic of their shared experiences and values. These mandatory gatherings also play a crucial role in the lives of Amish youth, providing them with opportunities to meet potential life partners in a community where matchmaking often happens within these structured social settings. However, there is a more complex layer to this practice. While these events are intended to foster community spirit and cohesion, they also serve as a form of social control. The close-knit nature of Amish society means that absence from these events is conspicuous and can lead to gossip, speculation, or concern. In a community where conformity and adherence to norms are highly valued, missing a mandatory event can be viewed as a serious breach of social expectations. For those outside the Amish community, This strict adherence to communal participation may seem excessive or even intrusive. However, for the Amish, these practices are deeply rooted in their commitment to preserving their cultural and religious traditions. The mandatory nature of these events highlights the importance they place on unity and mutual support, integral components of their way of life. Number 6. The no-button rule. In Amish communities, one distinctive feature of traditional clothing is the absence of buttons. Instead of the familiar fasteners, Amish garments are secured using hooks and eyes, snaps, or straight pins. This choice might seem peculiar at first, but it is deeply rooted in the community's values and practical considerations. The prohibition against buttons is primarily driven by the Amish commitment to humility and simplicity. In the Amish worldview, buttons are seen as decorative elements that could draw unnecessary attention to oneself. The Amish adhere to a philosophy of modesty, where ostentation and self-promotion are avoided. Buttons, with their decorative potential, are perceived as contrary to these values. By choosing simpler fasteners, the Amish aim to minimize any form of personal adornment or embellishment, thus upholding their ideals of modesty and community-focused living. Furthermore, the preference for alternative fasteners reflects practical considerations. Amish clothing is designed to be durable and functional, prioritizing utility over fashion. Buttons, while functional, can be more cumbersome to repair or replace if they become damaged. In contrast, hooks, eyes, and snaps are easier to manage and replace, making them a more practical choice for everyday wear. This practical aspect reinforces the Amish focus on simplicity and functionality in their clothing. To outsiders, this custom might seem anachronistic or even overly restrictive. However, for the Amish, it is a meaningful expression of their values. The ban on buttons is not merely a quirky tradition, but a visible representation of their dedication to living a life of simplicity and humility. It underscores the broader contrast between Amish values and modern societal norms, where fashion and personal expression often take precedence. By adhering to this practice, the Amish community remains steadfast in their commitment to a spiritually fulfilling and modest way of life. Number 7. Distinct courtship customs. In the intriguing world of Amish traditions, courtship practices stand out as both distinctive and deeply ingrained in their way of life. Unlike the dating customs common in mainstream society, Amish courtship follows a unique and structured path that emphasizes family involvement and adherence to traditional values. For young Amish individuals, dating as it is known outside the community is not practiced. Instead, they participate in a formal courtship process, which is a methodical journey toward marriage. This process begins with seeking the approval of the young person's parents. Parental consent is crucial, and it marks the official start of the courtship. Once approved, the couple embarks on their courtship with the understanding that their interactions will be closely observed by family members. Group settings, where the couple is often accompanied by family or friends, are the norm. This approach ensures that their relationship remains chaste and focused on understanding each other's character and values. One of the most distinctive aspects of Amish courtship is the practice of bundling. During this tradition, the couple spends time together in a bed, but with a clear boundary. They remain fully clothed, and a wooden board or a bundle of blankets is placed between them. While this might seem unconventional to those outside the community, bundling allows the couple to experience intimacy and companionship while maintaining their commitment to modesty. The courtship period can be quite lengthy, spanning several months or even years. This extended time allows the couple to thoroughly evaluate their compatibility and readiness for marriage. The process is deliberate and reflective, ensuring that both individuals are well prepared for the commitment of marriage. When the couple decides to marry, the ceremony is typically a simple affair, held in the presence of their extended family and community. The modesty and formality of the wedding reflect the broader values of Amish life, which prioritize simplicity, family, and faith. Through these distinctive courtship customs, the Amish community upholds its traditional values while guiding young people toward lifelong commitment and unity. Number 8. The tradition of bonnets. When you encounter an Amish woman, the first thing that stands out is likely her bonnet. This distinctive piece of clothing is more than just a fashion statement. It's a vital part of Amish tradition with deep cultural and religious significance. Amish bonnets serve a dual purpose, promoting modesty and reflecting humility. Typically crafted from plain, solid-colored fabric, these bonnets are designed to cover a woman's hair, which, according to Amish beliefs rooted in biblical teachings, is considered her glory. By wearing these bonnets, Amish women demonstrate their commitment to modesty, emphasizing that their true worth lies in their inner virtues rather than their outward appearance. Beyond their role in modesty, bonnets also function as a form of non-verbal communication within the Amish community. The style, color, and even the manner in which a bonnet is tied can convey various messages. For instance, different styles or colors may indicate a woman's marital status, her level of religiosity, or her position within the community. These subtle distinctions are keenly observed by other Amish members, though they might not be immediately apparent to outsiders. Practicality also plays a role in the significance of bonnets. They offer protection from the elements, shielding women from the sun, wind, and rain as they go about their daily activities, which often include outdoor work on farms. This practical aspect ensures comfort and functionality in the Amish way of life. While bonnets may seem uniform and simplistic, they are imbued with layers of cultural identity and religious devotion. Worn from a young age and throughout a woman's life, they symbolize a steadfast adherence to Amish values and serve as a constant reminder of the community's commitment to simplicity and faith. Number 9. Childbirth at home. In the Amish community, childbirth is viewed through a lens of tradition and spirituality, offering a fascinating glimpse into their unique approach to one of life's most profound events. Unlike mainstream practices, where hospitals and medical interventions are the norm, the Amish prefer to welcome new life within the familiar and comforting confines of their own homes. This preference for home childbirth reflects the Amish commitment to maintaining a separation from the outside world and adhering to their deeply held values of simplicity and self-sufficiency. For Amish families, the process of bringing a new baby into the world is a deeply personal and communal experience. Instead of the modern hospital setting, Amish women give birth under the care of a midwife, a respected and experienced member of their community. These midwives are not formally trained in medical institutions, but are skilled through years of hands-on experience and community knowledge. Their role is crucial in ensuring that deliveries are safe and in line with Amish practices. The home birth experience is imbued with a strong sense of family and faith. Family members, including the husband and older children, are often present, offering support and comfort throughout the labor and delivery. The atmosphere in the birthing room is serene and reverent, marked by quietness and prayer, reflecting the Amish belief in divine providence and the sanctity of the birthing process. Pain relief medications are generally avoided, with Amish women relying on their faith, the support of their loved ones, and their own inner strength to navigate the challenges of childbirth. The birthing space itself is simple and unadorned, adhering to the Amish principles of modesty and minimalism. This traditional approach to childbirth not only underscores the Amish commitment to their values, but also highlights the intimate, communal nature of their way of life, where each birth is a shared and spiritually significant event. Number 10. Women cannot become preachers. In the Amish community, the roles assigned to men and women are clearly delineated, reflecting a deeply rooted tradition that shapes every aspect of their lives. One of the most distinctive aspects of this division is the exclusion of women from holding official religious leadership positions. Within Amish churches, only men are permitted to serve as preachers, ministers, or bishops. This restriction, while seemingly unusual to outsiders, is a fundamental part of Amish religious practice and belief. The roots of this gender-specific role are firmly grounded in the Amish interpretation of the Bible. They refer to certain biblical passages that emphasize male leadership in religious contexts, which they believe supports the notion that men are designated to hold these positions of authority. In the Amish view, men are seen as spiritually equipped to take on these leadership roles, guiding the community in its religious practices and decisions. The role of a preacher in the Amish community is critical. Preachers are responsible for delivering sermons, providing spiritual guidance, and leading church services, making them pivotal figures in the religious and communal life of the Amish. However, this role is reserved exclusively for men, and women are not permitted to assume this leadership position. Despite the restriction on women becoming preachers, Amish women are far from sidelined in the spiritual life of their community. They play an essential role in supporting their families and the broader community's spiritual well-being. Amish women actively participate in church services, teach Sunday school, and contribute significantly to the religious education and moral upbringing of their children. Their influence, though not as publicly visible as that of male preachers, is profoundly impactful and integral to the community's spiritual health. This division of religious roles reflects the Amish commitment to their traditional beliefs and values, emphasizing a structured approach to religious life, while ensuring that women's contributions, though different, are valued and respected within their framework. Number 11. Rumspringa. Among the rich tapestry of Amish traditions, one of the most intriguing and enigmatic practices is Rumspringa. Derived from the Pennsylvania Dutch term meaning running around or wilderness journey, Rumspringa marks a unique phase in an Amish teenager's life, typically beginning at age 16. During this period, Amish youths are given a rare opportunity to experience life outside their strict community norms, temporarily setting aside the rules and customs that usually govern their daily existence. So, what exactly happens during Rumspringa? For the duration of this phase, teenagers are granted considerable freedom. They can dress in non-Amish clothing, use modern technology, and explore behaviors that are usually prohibited within the Amish lifestyle. This temporary liberation allows them to engage with the broader world in ways they wouldn't otherwise be able to, offering a taste of life beyond the Amish boundaries. The purpose of Rumspringa might seem counterintuitive in a community known for its adherence to tradition and simplicity. However, it plays a critical role in the Amish way of life. This period is designed to give young people the chance to explore their personal beliefs and make an informed decision about whether they want to formally join the Amish church and fully commit to the community's values. What makes Rumspringa particularly fascinating is its lack of formal structure. There are no strict guidelines governing its duration or the specific activities involved. Number 12. They don't learn where babies come from. In the Amish community, one of the most striking aspects of education is the notable absence of comprehensive sex education. Amish schools, which typically offer a basic curriculum focusing on reading, writing, arithmetic, and practical skills, intentionally omit detailed instruction on human reproduction. This decision is deeply rooted in the community's values surrounding modesty, the sanctity of marriage, and the desire to protect young minds from what they perceive as explicit or worldly knowledge. While Amish children receive education in fundamental biology, discussions about human reproduction are generally not included in their formal schooling. Instead, the Amish prefer more indirect methods for teaching about life and its processes. Observing nature and the cycles of life on the farm provide a more hands-on, albeit less detailed, understanding of biological processes. A distinctive feature of Amish culture is the way in which young people come to learn about human reproduction. Rather than relying on formal education, Amish children and teenagers typically receive information through open, honest conversations with their parents and other trusted adults within their families. These discussions are framed within the context of marriage, family values, and the religious significance of procreation. In these conversations, the focus is on the sacredness of marriage and the responsibilities that come with it, rather than explicit details. Number 13. They rarely wear makeup. In Amish culture, the use of makeup is notably absent from the daily lives of women. This practice stems from deeply held beliefs about natural beauty and the rejection of vanity. The Amish community places significant value on simplicity and humility, both in appearance and demeanor, and makeup is seen as a form of adornment that could foster pride or distract from one's true self. The Amish hold a profound respect for God's creation and believe that altering their physical appearance through cosmetic enhancements contradicts their values. This belief is rooted in the idea that true beauty comes from within and should be reflected through one's character and actions rather than external appearance. Instead of makeup, Amish women focus on cultivating inner qualities such as gentleness and modesty. Their commitment to these values is evident in their lifestyle and behavior, which emphasizes a quiet spirit and sincere interactions. To express their individuality, Amish women rely on other aspects of their attire and personal presentation. Their clothing, which is generally modest and functional, and their hairstyles can vary between different Amish sects, allowing for a degree of personal expression while still adhering to communal standards of simplicity and humility. The choice to forego makeup is not just about avoiding vanity. It is also about maintaining a consistent way of life that aligns with their spiritual and cultural principles. In a world where outward appearances often dominate, the Amish approach offers a striking contrast, highlighting their commitment to living in accordance with their deeply held beliefs. Number 14. Amish toys don't have faces. In the world of Amish childhood, toys take on a unique and understated charm. Amish toys are typically handcrafted with care by family members or local artisans, emphasizing simplicity and practicality. One distinctive feature that sets these toys apart is their intentional design. Most Amish toys do not have facial features such as eyes, noses, or mouths. This deliberate omission stems from deeply ingrained Amish values regarding modesty and humility. The Amish believe that adding faces to toys could lead to a focus on vanity and worldly appearances, which contradicts their principles of simplicity and avoiding pride. By keeping toys faceless, the community discourages any sense of personal pride or individualism that might arise from more detailed, expressive designs. Instead, the absence of faces on these toys encourages children to engage in imaginative play. Without predefined expressions, children are free to project their own emotions and experiences onto the toys. This practice not only nurtures creativity, but also aligns with the Amish value of humility. It allows children to imbue their toys with personal significance and develop strong emotional connections, fostering a sense of individual expression within a framework of communal values. The simplicity of faceless toys highlights the Amish commitment to creating a nurturing environment where imagination and humility are prioritized over materialism and self-promotion. Despite their plain appearance, these toys become cherished companions in the lives of Amish children, reflecting a unique blend of tradition and creativity. Number 15. Amish wedding night traditions. Amish wedding customs offer a fascinating glimpse into the values and traditions that define this close-knit community. Unlike the modern concept of a honeymoon, which typically involves a getaway to a far-off destination, Amish newlyweds follow a unique and deeply rooted practice after their wedding ceremony. Instead of embarking on a private retreat or returning immediately to their own home, the newlyweds often spend several nights, and in some cases even weeks, staying with the bride's parents or other close relatives. During this period, the couple takes on significant responsibilities within their host's household. This includes engaging in daily chores such as cleaning, cooking, and assisting with various household tasks. By contributing to the household in this way, the newlyweds demonstrate their commitment to hard work and cooperation, which are highly valued in the Amish community. This shared labor is not just a practical necessity, but also a symbolic gesture that underscores their willingness to integrate and support their new family. The practice of staying with the bride's family also provides the couple with an opportunity to bond with their in-laws and extended relatives. This extended family time fosters strong community connections and helps the couple transition smoothly into their married life. It reflects the Amish emphasis on the importance of family ties and community cohesion, offering a supportive environment for the couple as they begin their new life together. Through these traditions, the Amish community highlights the sanctity of marriage and the central role of family and communal bonds in their way of life. This practice illustrates the Amish commitment to nurturing relationships and integrating newlyweds into the broader fabric of their community, reinforcing the values of unity and mutual support that are integral to their culture. Number 16. The iconic tradition of barn raising. In the Amish community, few traditions are as emblematic and deeply rooted as the practice of barn raising. This time-honored ritual is a remarkable display of community spirit and collective effort, where the entire Amish community rallies together to build a barn in a single day. The process starts well before sunrise. The day is meticulously planned, with neighbors, friends, and extended family members gathering at the chosen site in the early morning hours. There is often an underlying sense of friendly competition among Amish communities, each striving to complete the barn in record time. As the first light of dawn breaks, the barn raising begins in earnest. The organization of the work is both impressive and methodical. Specific tasks are assigned to different groups, from hoisting the massive wooden beams into place to securing the roofing. Each participant plays a crucial role, contributing their skills and strength to the collective effort. The scene is a testament to the power of teamwork, with scores of individuals working in harmony to achieve a common goal. What sets this tradition apart is the Amish commitment to using only traditional tools and human labor. Modern machinery is deliberately avoided, reflecting their values of simplicity and self-sufficiency. The entire process relies on hand tools, physical strength, and cooperative effort. This reliance on manual techniques not only showcases the Amish dedication to their values, but also highlights their ability to perform complex tasks through sheer communal effort. As the barn nears completion, the community comes together to celebrate their achievement with a communal meal. This feast serves as a rewarding end to a day of hard work, reinforcing the bonds of unity and shared responsibility that define Amish life. The barn raising is more than just a practical endeavor. It's a vibrant expression of the Amish commitment to working together, celebrating their accomplishments, and maintaining their distinctive way of life. Number 17. The Amish rejection of modern technology. In the Amish community, a fundamental tenet is the deliberate avoidance of modern technology, particularly electricity and electronic devices. This choice stems from their deep-seated belief in leading a life centered around faith, family, and community, rather than being sidetracked by worldly distractions. Amish homes are designed to exclude electricity, creating an environment where gas lamps, wood-burning stoves, and manual appliances are the norm. This absence of modern technology is not merely a quirk, but a conscious effort to foster self-sufficiency and maintain a closer connection with the natural world. The simplicity of their lifestyle encourages a deeper engagement with daily tasks and communal activities, reinforcing their values of humility and simplicity. However, the Amish approach to technology is not entirely black and white. While they forgo most modern conveniences, they do allow limited use of technology for essential purposes. For instance, certain businesses within the community may use technology to improve efficiency, and medical technologies are embraced when necessary to ensure health and well-being. This selective use of technology underscores their pragmatic approach to modern advancements, while remaining true to their core principles. One of the most remarkable aspects of the Amish rejection of technology is how it distinguishes them from the fast-paced, tech-driven world. For the Amish, excessive reliance on modern gadgets is seen as a threat to their way of life. They believe that technology can undermine their values by creating distractions, fostering divisions, and detracting from their spiritual focus. By maintaining their traditional practices, the Amish preserve a way of life that prioritizes human connection and spiritual depth over technological convenience. Number 18. The Amish and their fluency in 3 languages. One of the most intriguing facets of Amish culture is their remarkable linguistic proficiency, encompassing not just 1, but 3 distinct languages. This unique aspect of Amish life highlights their dedication to preserving cultural heritage while effectively navigating interactions with the broader world. Pennsylvania Dutch, a dialect of German, is the primary language spoken within Amish communities. It's the language of daily life, from family conversations to community gatherings and church services. Passed down through generations, Pennsylvania Dutch forms the bedrock of Amish communication, reflecting their deep-rooted traditions and communal bonds. English is another crucial language in the Amish linguistic repertoire. Although Pennsylvania Dutch is predominant within the community, English is essential for interactions with the outside world. This fluency in English facilitates communication with non-Amish individuals, including in business transactions, educational settings, and broader social interactions. The Amish recognize the importance of English as a practical tool for engaging with modern society while maintaining their cultural values. The third language, High German, is less commonly used in daily life, but holds significant importance for religious and spiritual practices. High German is the formal version of the German language used in religious texts, hymns, and during church services. While not spoken in everyday conversations, its use in religious contexts underscores the Amish's commitment to their faith and the preservation of their spiritual traditions. This trilingual capability illustrates the Amish's dedication to maintaining their cultural identity and religious heritage. By mastering Pennsylvania Dutch, English, and High German, they effectively bridge the gap between their traditional way of life and the outside world, ensuring that their unique customs and beliefs are preserved and respected. Number 19. Adult baptism in Amish faith. In stark contrast to many Christian traditions that practice infant baptism, the Amish community observes a distinctive approach to this significant rite of passage. For the Amish, baptism is not an act to be administered at infancy, but rather a conscious, informed choice made in adulthood. This practice underscores their commitment to personal responsibility and faith. Adult baptism typically occurs between the ages of 16 and 25, marking a pivotal transition from adolescence to adulthood within the Amish community. The journey toward baptism is preceded by a period of preparation known as instruction. During this time, young Amish individuals engage in comprehensive religious education under the guidance of church leaders and mentors. This instructional phase, which can last several months, ensures that they fully understand the spiritual and communal responsibilities they are about to assume. The actual baptism ceremony is a profound and solemn event. It takes place in a nearby stream or creek, where candidates are immersed in water. This act of full immersion symbolizes the cleansing of sins and the beginning of a new, committed life within the church community. The ceremony is not only a personal commitment, but also a public declaration of faith, reinforcing the deep bonds of community and shared belief that define Amish life. While adult baptism may seem unusual compared to the practice of infant baptism found in many Christian denominations, it highlights the Amish emphasis on personal choice and spiritual maturity. By waiting until individuals are of age to make a deliberate commitment, the Amish ensure that baptism is a meaningful, considered decision, reflecting their deep-rooted values of faith and community. This practice exemplifies the Amish dedication to preserving their unique customs and religious traditions, emphasizing the role of personal conviction in their way of life. Number 20. The dark side of Amish communities. The Amish community, renowned for its distinctive customs and traditions that have been meticulously preserved and passed down through generations, has long been perceived as a tranquil and idyllic society. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly serene facade, a sinister reality has been unfolding, casting a dark shadow over the community. Rumors of sexual abuse have been circulating, raising grave concerns about the safety and well-being of its members. A disturbing report by Cosmopolitan magazine has brought to light the shocking allegations of sexual assault perpetrated by Amish men against their own daughters, sisters, and employees within communities across the United States. The report, which features the testimonies of over 3 dozen Amish individuals, reveals a disturbing trend of child sexual abuse that has garnered increasing attention in recent years. The stories shared by these brave individuals paint a harrowing picture of a community plagued by a culture of silence and secrecy, where victims are often forced to suffer in silence and perpetrators are shielded from accountability. One such heart-wrenching case is that of Mary Boyler, a young woman who was subjected to unspeakable horrors at the hands of her own family members, including her brothers, from a tender age. In a secretly recorded confession, Johnny, one of her brothers, estimated that he had committed sexual assaults on numerous occasions, a staggering admission that underscores the depth of depravity that pervades these communities. The Amish community's insular nature, which has long been a hallmark of their unique way of life, has inadvertently contributed to the perpetuation of this cycle of abuse. The lack of access to education, limited exposure to the outside world, and a patriarchal society that often prioritizes the protection of the community's reputation over the welfare of its members have created an environment in which abuse can thrive. Furthermore, the Amish community's reliance on internal mechanisms of justice, rather than seeking outside help, has allowed perpetrators to evade accountability, perpetuating a culture of impunity. The consequences of this toxic environment are far-reaching and devastating. Victims of sexual abuse within the Amish community often face immense psychological trauma, social ostracism, and even excommunication from their families and communities. The lack of support systems and resources available to these individuals makes it increasingly difficult for them to seek help, leaving them feeling isolated and vulnerable. Moreover, the silence and inaction of community leaders and members who are aware of these abuses have enabled the perpetuation of this cycle of violence, further entrenching the problem. The Cosmopolitan report serves as a stark reminder that the Amish community is not immune to the scourge of sexual abuse, and that it is imperative for its leaders and members to acknowledge the problem and take concrete steps to address it. This includes providing support and resources to victims, holding perpetrators accountable, and working to create a culture of transparency and accountability. The Amish community's unique cultural and religious practices do not excuse or justify the perpetuation of sexual abuse. Rather, they underscore the need for a more nuanced understanding of the complex factors that contribute to this problem and a commitment to creating a safer, more just society for all its members. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Beyond Discovery. We deeply appreciate your time and interest in exploring the complex and often misunderstood aspects of Amish life. Your engagement and support are invaluable as we delve into these important topics, shedding light on both the unique traditions and the challenges faced by these communities. A special thanks to those who have contributed to our research and shared their insights. Your input has been crucial in helping us present a balanced and informative view of the Amish way of life. If you found this episode insightful, be sure to check out the video on your screen next for more intriguing content that dives into the remarkable and diverse cultures around the world. Your continued support helps us bring these stories to light, and we look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Until next time, thank you for watching Beyond Discovery.